Hello, welcome to Vox Markets. Today I'm joined by Karl, who's Executive Chairman at Open Orphan, and by Dr. Jeremy Skillington, who's CEO of Poolbeg Pharma. How are you today, gents?
Good morning, Zach. Good to see you.
Well, thank you.
Right, we'll start off with Karl. This is your third life science IPO in Poolbeg. Can you tell us about the company?
Yeah, Zach, really excited what we can do with this company, and it's the third one. This is going to be a pure infectious disease biotech, and we have great ambitions. We're going to go to NASDAQ pretty quickly, hopefully in 12 months, and we're going to get it to $1 billion market cap. That's the plan.
Well, it sounds pretty simple. What about the team that you've got at Poolbeg?
Yeah, look, this is a spin-out, the first of 4 spin-outs from Open Orphan. This is the primary assets that Neil Woodford put originally £120 million into 5 years ago. We've spun them off as a series of infectious disease vaccines, antiviral products. They're standing on their own, and we've got a great team led by Jeremy. Jeremy Skillington comes from Inflammasome. It had an exit at Easter with investors got close to 10x their money, £380 million or euros up front, and several times that in earnout. So yeah, the team is pretty cool. Jeremy's co-founder, Luke O'Neill's on board, and we've cherry-picked a number of the people from Open Orphan, a small number, and we're going to keep it relatively virtual, despite ambitions to get into $1 billion within the first year or two. We're going to try and keep it 8-10 people, because the whole, let's say, the moral of this story will be get it big, fast, but keep the overhead small. Make sure it's a biotech that washes its face, that doesn't incur losses.
So, Jeremy, I suppose part of the answer to the question is already been answered by Karl. But why did you join Poolbeg?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, Karl and I spoke back in March. We were winding down our Inflammasome activities. As Karl said, that was an Irish biotech. We started in 2016. We exited in 2020 with an acquisition by Roche, doing very well for our investors. And when Karl, you told me the story about what he was doing with Open Orphan, spinning out Poolbeg. Fascinating science. I think there's ready-made assets to move forward. We're clinical ready when it comes to a program for severe influenza. And I think there's no better time to be in infectious diseases from a biotech standpoint. I think there's what's gone on in the last 18 months has shocked the world, and I think everybody won't let that happen again. So we've got an array of infectious disease assets we want to push forward really quickly, get key clinical human data, and partner with pharma. So we're going to be very, very light, very nimble, very efficient, and partnering with pharma will be serving them up assets that they're seeking and looking for. And as I say, making sure that there's no pandemics, they don't happen again. And we've got great assets, great science, great underpinning data that we're going to build upon. So it's an exciting company to be joining. I'm delighted to be part of it and leading from the front.
I mean, clearly, Jeremy, the pandemic has made the infectious disease market bigger by its very nature. But how big do you think it is? Is there a number that you can put on it?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I won't say it's a neglected area. Some diseases were fully addressed, and very little active research in other areas. But they're forecasting, predicting that by 2025, the market is going to be 250 billion across diagnostics, therapeutics, and vaccines. And of course, as I say, the world is pivoting. They want to make sure that there's no pandemics that happen again. And I think things like severe influenza, I think what I'm excited about is that the team at hVIVO, Open Orphan, identified a key target that was driving severe influenza and acquired a molecule to hit that. So that's our first moving into the clinics with a P38 MAP kinase inhibitor. And again, addressing this unmet medical need and getting programs ready for pharma to partner, and then pharma drives forward. So very, very exciting times. And we will help fulfill or address that market.
I mean, it's a big market, but how is Poolbeg different to other companies in this space?
Yeah, that's a terrific question. I think from our standpoint, we will be leveraging human clinical trials, these challenge trials. It's basically getting into humans as quickly as possible. And that's where interesting studies, they take healthy volunteers, they give them a virus of choice, and then you do your therapeutic analysis thereafter. So you give them the drug. So you're going to get human data really quickly. You can get data within 12 or 18 months. That would take pharma many years longer. And we're going to get that early clinical proof of concept data and making it ready to partner with pharma. And that's, it's very exciting for them. It's very exciting for us. And I'd say we plan to move really quickly.
Back to Karl, I mean, you've made a significant investment into Poolbeg. What was the rationale behind that?
Yeah, Zach, I think with put in £500,000 in my own cash as part of the IPO. Had a lot to invest prior to that in it as well. Ian O'Connell and the rest have been working on this project going back to summer last year, over 12 months ago. But yeah, I just think it's a terrific investment. And again, I think you can't be putting these projects together unless, as Jeremy says, lead from the front and put your money where your mouth is. So yeah, £500,000, it's a pretty serious investment, but I'm very happy with it. And I think we have huge plans, huge ambitions for it. Say it's the third one. Our first IPO was Amrit Pharma. It's touching off £500 million market cap at the moment. That was only for starters. Open Orphan has a good run, and there's a lot more to come in Open Orphan in the weeks and months ahead. It's in a kind of pause scenario where we get the first spin-off done, and this is the first spin-off now. So yeah, really excited. I think it's a very safe, and it'll work out really well for me, that investment.
Just to finish off with Jeremy, what in particular, I mean, it's obviously going to be a busy time, but what in particular do you think that investors can expect from Poolbeg over the near term?
Yeah, it's, again, a good question. I think we can expect a lot of news flow. I talked about our lead asset in severe influenza that will move very quickly, but we've brought over from hVIVO an Open Orphan, a lot of exciting assets moving forward around diagnostic programs. And I think what's quite exciting is a lot of data, disease progression data, that we're going to mine. We're in discussions with partnering with an artificial intelligence companies to analyze this large data set and identify new targets, new programs that, again, we can bring into our pipeline, move forward very rapidly and partner with pharma. So there'll be a lot of exciting programs moving forward, a lot of deals. I think we'll be a deal-making machine. And as I say, we want to be a conveyor belt to serve up different infectious disease assets to pharma so they can fill their pipelines and move them forward at pace.
Well, we look forward to see what you do over the coming months. Karl Friel and Jeremy Skillington, thank you very much indeed.
Zach, thank you very much. Watch this space.